Step 5, you need to focus on building multiple streams of income. So if you just work hard in your job and you hope to increase your income can only increase by the most 3 to 5 to the most 10%. And there's no guarantee. It depends on whether your boss likes you. At the same time, the moment you're of a certain age, like 40 plus years old or beyond, you find your income becomes stagnant. So if you want to significantly increase your income, in order to build your net worth, you have to focus on building multiple income streams. So let's look at how to do it right now. In Wealth Academy, you're going to learn how to focus on building 4 major multiple streams of income. And the first major stream is creating royalties and profits from intellectual property. And there are many versions of this. Franchise free from a brand or system, licensing inventions, royalties from artistic creation, book royalties, licensing fees from software, royalties from audios and videos, membership fees for exclusive information. We have to remember that we're living in the information age, or the knowledge-based economy. And in this economy, one of the greatest things to sell is information, because the raw material is free and you can reach a worldwide audience. And the royalties that you create are sustainable for the rest of your life. And I'll give you some examples later on of how I've done it and how my students have done it. Besides that, you can also create streams of income through investing and trading. By investing in the right companies and stocks that pay you dividends, into REITs or real estate investment trusts, or properties with positive cash flow, where your tenant will pay you every month and help you to own your own property. High-yielding corporate bonds, fixed deposits in foreign currencies, investing in private businesses, other fixed income securities, and creating monthly trading profits in Forex, commodities, futures. Another major income stream is through businesses. Now, if you're in a full-time job, it's going to be a challenge to start your own business and hire workers and get a place in a shopping center. But the great thing is now technology has allowed anyone who works in a full-time job to have a sideline business which they can run from home from their computer. It's an internet business. You know, when I ask people, how many of you have bought something on the internet? I get about 70% of hands being raised today. 5 years ago, it was less than 5%, but today it's 70%. Why? Consumer behavior habits have changed. People are now going online every day. It's a habit, and they buy stuff. They buy clothes, they buy cosmetics, they buy computers, they buy software, they buy books. And you find that, you know, big retail chains like even Borders are going through bankruptcy. Why? Because consumer habits have shifted. Now, to us as small-time entrepreneurs and consumers, this is good news. Why? We're going to buy things online from our house. But it also means, if more people are buying things online, why aren't you selling something online? Why aren't you selling something online? Because there's a market, right? And if you're not, maybe you never started, you never took that action, you don't know how. So in Wealth Academy, we bring in experts to teach you how to start up a home-based business and leverage on the internet, leverage on technology to reach a worldwide audience. So today, for example, in my websites, adam-khoo.com, adamkhoowealth.com. And if you go to my websites, you can see I sell products to people all over the world. I've got customers from Africa, customers from Brazil, customers from Philippines, right? And the great thing is this, you collect all these income streams in cash. So again, I'm going to give you examples later on of how my students have built home-based businesses to supplement their job salary. And the fourth major stream of income is through sales commissions, right? So you could be in a job where when you sell something, you get a commission. That's active income. But when people start to buy the product every single month, you get recurrent commissions. And in certain industries like insurance, network marketing, and property, this creates tremendous passive income streams for yourself. So let me show you a few examples of what my students have done and what you can learn to do at Wealth Academy. Creating intellectual property has been one of my major streams of income. You know, I started when I was about 20 years old, and I had this crazy idea of writing a book to teach students how to become top students, because that was my intellectual property. See, I used to be an underachiever in school. I got kicked out of school when I was 9 years old. And to cut a long story short, I ended going to a typical neighborhood school in Singapore. But even then, I taught my school I went to one of the top junior colleges, went to the National University of Singapore, where I was among the top 1% of gifted students. And I say, hey, I've got all this knowledge on how to get top grades. I've got this knowledge of how to be a top student. I'm going to teach other people. So I wrote my first book, I'm Gifted, So Are You. And following that book, I wrote my second book, my third book, my fourth book. And today I've got about 11 books selling in 7 languages all over the world. And I just write the book one time, but it pays me royalties for the rest of my life. And my accumulated royalties and profits have been almost close to $5 million. And they continue to accumulate every single year. In Wealth Academy, I'm going to show you a lot of books that my students have written. All right, from Cancer Cured Naturally, a book written by Betty Koo, who happens to be my mother, for example. She attended the program herself years ago. Adam Wong, who wrote a book called Lucky Bastard. Ike Che, who is a GP teacher in a junior college, who has written a series of children's books. And let me show you one right now on the slide. A book written by one of my students, Mary Stella, who came to my program in Jakarta, Indonesia. And after the program, she wanted to create a series of books. And she had no idea. And one day, inspiration hit. Her daughter asked her, Mommy, how much does God love me? And the mother says, you know, God loves you very much. And the kid said, how much? And the mother says, you know, God loves you higher than the sky, deeper than the ocean. All right? And the mother got inspired. She says, you know what? I'm going to write a book teaching children about God. So she wrote a book called I Love You by God. And it's an interactive children's book where inside it says, for example, God loves you softer than a feather. And inside the book, it's got a simulated feather which you can feel. You know, right? God loves you taller than the tallest tree. And when you open the book, the pages actually flip into a very tall tree. God loves you sweeter than, more fragrant than strawberries. And inside the book, there's actually a place where you rub and you smell strawberries. Yeah? So it's an interactive children's book that was so unique. It outsold Harry Potter in the whole of Indonesia, a country with 200 million people. Right? She created tremendous amount of publicity and royalties for herself. And since then, she went to the London Book Fair and the Frankfurt Book Fair, where she sold the idea. And her book is now translated into multiple languages: English, Indonesian, Dutch, Korean, and Russian. And she created an entire series. I Love You by God, followed by I Love You by Mom, I Love You by Dad, I Love You by Friends, I Love You by Siblings. And that one idea she had created an entire business, multiple income streams for her. Huge amounts of passive income. Let me show you now another example. This is another one of my students who attended my program years ago, and his name is Shun Chien. And Shun Chien graduated from the university in Singapore with a computer science degree. And after he graduated and worked for the government for a while, he decided to start a business from home. So he created a website called richgrad.com. It's a personal development website. Now on his website, he has got no products himself to sell. But what he does is he blogs about topics he's passionate about. He blogs about personal development topics. For example, on a certain day, he blogs about 5 simple public speaking techniques to help you influence your audience. And people go to his blog to read all his insights and his information. And at the end of the blog, you can click a link, go to Amazon, for example, buy books on public speaking, and he will get an affiliate commission from Amazon Books. Or for example, he could blog about health, how to improve your health and vitality, and you could go to another website and buy vitamin pills, and they will pay him an affiliate commission. So he links you to all the other product websites, and they pay him commissions every single month. After he started his website, he built his base, built his customers, and within 6 months, it became profitable. And in March 2008, he made $989.55. It was a good start, but not enough to replace his job salary. But it kept increasing. The next month, it went up to $3,200, $4,200, $5,200, and he went all the way to $13,000 a month in profits from his website. And he was kind enough to show me all his royalty checks, or rather profit checks, right? That was the first one by Commission Junction. And in the program, you're going to learn how to use these companies like Commission Junction. These are internet broker websites where they link you up with other websites that pay you commission when you recommend these websites. And that was the first check for 989.55. And he went up to 3,002, and 4,002, and 5,002, and 5,004, and 8,004, 11,002, 13,002, 12,006, right? And 11,007, and it's pretty good income from one website. Pretty amazing. And today he runs multiple websites. I've got another student I can show you, and he created a different kind of business model. His website is called livinginsingapore.today.com, and he doesn't sell any product. He does not recommend any other product from a different website, but what he does is he gives free information. In Singapore, there are two favorite hobbies, shopping and eating, and people always love a good deal. And what James does is on his website, he updates it every week, where he posts the latest promotions in the various shopping centers. And he will tell you, for example, in his website, where are the latest IT computer promotions, the latest promotions on travel tours. So 90,000 people visit his website every week. And when they go to his website, they get all this traffic. What does he do? He sells his website space to advertisers like Google. And if you go to his website today, you can see advertisements being placed by multinational companies, and they pay him thousands of dollars a month in profits or in advertising revenue. So you can see there are many ways to create additional income, and these people have their full-time jobs, all right? And this is the way you can increase your income by 100, 200, even 500% for the matter. Now, increasing your income is one thing. But you know what? You can increase your income by 5 times, your wealth can stay the same if you don't control your expenses. Imagine, from a 3,000 income, you now earn $20,000 a month in income. But you spend $20,000 a month, you're back to square one. So the second part of the equation is you have to learn to control your expenses. Now, before you control your expenses, you must first track your expenses. You must be very clear, how much are you spending every month? What are you spending on? And you'd be surprised. Up to 10 to 20% of our income, or rather our expenses, are things we spend on we don't need. After we spend on them, 2 days later we say, you know what, we don't need it anymore. If you learn how to reduce those expenses, you can boost your wealth and your income by 20% every single month. Human beings are such that when uncontrolled, our expenses always rise to our level of income. So you have to control your expenses. So let me ask you this. Do you track your expenses every month? Do you know what you're spending on? You have to. And if you don't, it's not because you don't have the time. You don't have a system. So in Wealth Academy, I'm going to show you my system of how to track your expenses using Excel spreadsheets, using techniques, so that every month you know exactly how much you spend on, how do you control it, how do you increase your income and your net worth. In Wealth Academy, you're going to receive tools like these. These are personal financial planning tools. You're going to learn about how to create your own personal income statement and your own personal balance sheet, and learn to be able to key in the figures of your income and expenses every month. It may seem tedious, it is not. Once you know the system, it just takes about maybe 20 minutes a month. If you can invest 20 minutes a month, you make a huge difference to your level of wealth. So once you can track your income and your expenses, you can begin to control it and increase your income and reduce and control your expenses. And only then again will you have a surplus to invest and to have that small money grow and grow into huge amounts of money, to get your money to make you even more money. So let's go to the next clip. I'm going to show you how millionaires invest their money and grow their net worth.